god, this show has so many good characters.
I know, right?
Yeah, like Gamagori Ira is just fantastic.
I want to say he's my favorite character, but like every character is my favorite character.
Right, and it's like this show is just so many girls competing for best girl. You know, you have Satsuki, Mako, Ryuko, even Gamagori Ira.
Because he would totally be Satsuki's best girl.
Oh my gosh, he would.
Whatever you want to call me.
Yes, whatever it is, Satsuki, Lady Satsuki. Absolutely. The more like, absolutely, Satsuki, you know.
Right. Satsuki-sama.
Satsuki-sama, indeed. All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Kill a Kill, episode 10. All right, we've hit the double digits.
That's
for
right.
Kill a Kill.
Ira has been thrashed soundly.
Yes, he was able to find a moment to climax within the battle.
Yep.
And it was gloriously pleasurable for him.
But he was absolutely stripped of the will to resist. I mean, fight.
Yes, and also he tried to impose his structure upon Ryuko,
but
quite aggressively, and
they were not at the negotiating kinks level just yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He hadn't passed the first base, if you will, of conflict of. Yes, all that. So, now we are moving into the next battle in this King of the Hill Naturals election combat tournament thing.
It is this guy that's next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
He needs a little bit of development.
Yes, because he's the only one that hasn't really been shown. All the other three have.
Well, no, he's been shown.
Well, he's been shown, but like he hasn't gotten focus.
Right, proper focus. So maybe they'll do 2 fights in one episode.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean,
who knows?
We could start this episode and he could just already be beaten.
Sure. Or they just go a bit more in detail into his backstory fight with Satsuki. Because, of course, he had to have one of those.
Yeah, Satsuki has already beaten every single one of these people. I think that's kind of the point.
I think so,
yeah. All right. Well, it's going to be awesome. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this. All right, guys, we're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. 5 years ago. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Furious typing. Is this the smart guy?
Oh.
So he was a hacker or something.
Yeah.
Middle school 3rd year.
Whoa. Huh.
Wow.
Cool. I love it.
I love the off-color tones used for the backgrounds and stuff.
Well, and the way they're doing this
past stuff,
they're doing this as if Satsuki was the main character and she's setting up her crack team of like specialists, basically.
Possibly, yeah.
Harmless prank, yes.
And here comes Satsuki. Yes. It's pushing it, yes. Whoa!
Oh. If you want to row fight the power.
Ah. Wow.
Inumuta Hoka.
Honiji Academy wants you to join Satsuki's military force.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is. I want to know more about you.
Wait, so is like basically everyone of the Devas actually like in love with Satsuki, basically? It's her reverse harem.
I mean, maybe, but I like the thought of that each of them are people that she specifically kind of targeted and pulled out of the kind of obscurity and meaninglessness and gave them purpose.
Right, so naturally they have such immense respect for her that it could possibly be mistaken as
but I feel like
romantic feelings.
I feel like in a lot of ways you can put love over almost every action that people do in this show. It's like a big theme of it too.
Yeah. So then the question is how are they going to explore that with Satsuki herself?
Good point. 熱い思いが葉空で輝き出すすで出てきた夢が誰かで待機したありがとうは全部この手でなだるThis song's got such good music. This show is fantastic.
Yeah.
I understand no car.
Are they charging tickets?
Oh my gosh. I think he's thinking about it.
Oh.
I will end you! Oh my god! Oh. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Don't be afraid. Yes. Indeed. Indeed.
He's so adhering to the rules of everything. Is that a handkerchief she gave him or something? Okay, them two being together is just about the most perfect character combination in this show possible.
Yeah.
It's like the Hound and Arya. Like...
Yes.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees even more now. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Begin. Oh! It's music!
Awesome! I love it!
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Tron mixed with RoboCop and...
Yeah.
Probe Regalia. He's going to probe her? I thought Ira was the subdued one.
Wow, that was the fastest transformation sequence we've had all season.
Yep.
I mean, the show. Like, ah.
Oh, the power button on the back.
Oh my god, you're right. You're right, I saw it. It's like an Xbox power button. What the heck? So he's gathering data on her and the god robe itself. Analyzing weaknesses. I've analyzed all your capabilities. I can anticipate one of your every moves. Oh my god, yes!
Yes. Or you could just attack him.
Talking is a free action, Jacob. Remember.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, yes. Especially in this kind of a conflict, indeed.
He went virtual.
Oh. There are no butterflies in winter.
She's holding up.
Wait, what? That was. Did she holding the text? What? Okay, all right. Can't fight what you can't see, I guess.
Get really reckless.
So way your mind out of sheep. No.
Oh, nice.
Wow. I'll see where you aren't. Or that worked too.
Oh my god.
Ah! What? Oh my gosh. Ah! Yeah. Whoa.
Does not compute.
Whoa. He's surrendering. Oh.
It's kind of smart if you think about it, though, because he realizes he's going to lose. He doesn't want to give her extra life fibers and all that. Ah.
Interesting. Maybe Satsuki wanted that.
Possibly.
Okay, 2 fights in 1 episode. Here we go.
Yeah. My 3-star Ultimate Uniform Battle Regalia Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
But still. That's like $6 an hour.
You've seen how old fart. Even Guts is pissed. Why are you wearing a tracksuit?
Have you no shame?
Oh. So it wasn't about keeping his uniform. Oh! And Mako is dead.
Mako's suffocating, yeah.
Go for it, Mako!
I love that she was looking at a mirror to like hype herself up.
Aww. Alright, the music. She's the music. Fanfare! Funfair! You sorely lack presentation! Oh my gosh, it's a marching band and everything.
Boorish fights.
Alright! That hat, though, is so ridiculous. I love it. And is the hat going to stay? Is the hat going to make it through? Oh my god! Oh my god! Unlimited
instruments, yeah.
Musical love. Oh my god, it's a speaker! It's a gigantic love speaker! Drop the bass. Bow, bow. Light cavalry overture. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, hit the bass.
Now, at what point are they gonna do Tchaikovsky's canon finish?
Oh my god, she's shooting notes. What the heck?
Ryuko's in trouble.
Whoa.
Ryuko's really in trouble now.
She's in treble?
Yeah, in trouble.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god! This is amazing! Oh my god! It's a hover ship! Who cares about King of the Hill? What?
Hey, why are you getting higher than me?
Okay.
High-handed kindergarten.
Yeah, going to backstory here. Oh, she was the first.
Yeah.
I love her voice. Like,
yeah.
No. Whoa. Dang. Oh my god.
This is Satsuki in kindergarten.
Yeah. Yeah. No Nari. What? Oh my god, Satsuki as a kindergartner is like the pinnacle of human perfection.
The childhood friend. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The William Tell Overture finale, oh my god! Oh my god, this anime is just amazing.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Detached cable.
Whoa! What?
Smush.
Oh my god. How are we gonna have a King of the Hill match if
there's no hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Oh, is he contacting
The rest of Nudist Beach.
Yes. But
Yes! Yes! Let's just destroy the entire school while we're at it.
yeah, and then
They're the only ones.
oh my god. Hey, I mean, it's natural selection, you know?
Yeah.
Whoa!
All right.
Whoa!
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Oh. Whoa. Oh. So maybe Satsuki isn't prepping Ryuko. Satsuki is prepping Senketsu.
Sure.
The kid gloves are off.
Ooh.
All right.
Saying such naughty, unkind words.
A cliffhanger, a proper cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And it ties into the overarching plot, not the little, Naturals election, like, tournament arc thing.
Yeah.
So...
As great as tournament arcs are.
Yeah, but... I feel like we're about to get some, like, really big, like story things happening. Like, one, because we're coming up on the halfway point.
Yeah.
But two, what is Nudist Beach's actual, like, goal? And the fact that they're specifically not telling Ryuko, like, key things that they do know.
Yeah.
So what if it's basically just a set of two factions that are trying to manipulate Ryuko into being the catalyst for Senketsu's, development.
Sure.
And then they all are just going to try and grab the god robe for themselves.
Right. They all want Ryuko to sort of end their war for them.
Right. Oof. Okay, that was one of the most ridiculous, hilarious, fourth wall breaking, just crazy episodes of Kill la Kill thus far.
And that's saying something, considering this is Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
And we have episodes like last episode and all of the ones before that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It just doesn't let up.
It really doesn't. And that's incredible that they do it so well, because the idea of, okay, the main character has to fight this selection of people, before they can get to the main boss for the plot point of the story, right?
Right.
That's usually something that I find rather boring, right? Just the idea of that in general. However, because of how they present all of this, I can't help but just absolutely love it. And I never thought that I would enjoy so much a part in a story that is basically just doing that,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, oh man, good stuff.
Yeah. It's so funny because, like, you look at the fight previous to this fight that they kind of ended the episode with, kind of on the cliffhanger of.
Right.
And they just basically just ended it just so quickly. They're like, yeah. You're one of those, like, yes. Ryuko's like, you're one of those people that's like, I've analyzed all your moves. I can anticipate every attack you'll make. And it's like, oh my god, this is so...
Yeah.
This show is so freaking self-aware. And then they're just like, yeah, we just do a stupid attack, and the more stupid our attacks get, the more you have a chance of, the less you have a chance of even winning. So they end that fight. They go into the next one. They go into kindergarten backstory for little...
Because 5 years ago wasn't enough.
Nope. For the little...
We gotta go like 12 years back for that. Or 10. Depending on whether it's third year or first year. But
the main thing is that, like...
Oh, man.
They did it.
Yep.
And this is the girl that basically gets whatever she wants, but then Satsuki doesn't want what she has to offer.
Yep.
She's like, you need to set your sights higher.
That's right.
Don't build your castles out of sand.
Build
a castle of belief in your mind. And it's like, freaking Satsuki, how do you know? Like, what? You're five. How?
She,
she's best girl.
It's the whole thing.
It's confirmed at this point, Jacob. Satsuki is best girl.
Or her parents just had her listen to Mozart, as a baby and stuff. And it's that whole Mozart makes babies smarter,
They're smart And then there's just like wise Jacob.
It was just like they like she basically was just listening to like Tony Robbins perpetually.
No. Don't even bring that guy in here. She was listening to like philosophers of like the Renaissance period. She was like downloading like just like all of their like teachings and sayings just constantly into her brain. She has like a tutor that just drops quotes on her just constantly, and she's just assimilating information and assimilating information. I mean, hey, in a freaky sense, like maybe in some ways Satsuki doesn't actually know what she's saying. That's not the point. I don't take what I'm saying seriously. My point is that she's 5.
Yeah.
She's 5, and I would love to have the joke of it. This is not the case. I'm just messing around here. Please don't take me seriously. Is that Satsuki is like, yeah, I heard this on a tape once. Like,
and it sounded cool.
And it sounded really good. And it applies here. And she's smart enough to realize that it applies here. Okay, but seriously, Satsuki is a born leader. Like, born now. We confirmed it. She was a kindergarten...
I mean, the whole thing though of like bringing in the great philosophers or whatever to teach her and stuff, I believe it because Alexander the Great, I mean that like he had that. Who was it? It was like Aristotle or Plato or or something like that. Right. That basically was his mentor, educator, teacher as a kid, and I mean he went pretty far. So like, but
about 24 years into his life or something like that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay. So music as a weapon, I love it.
Excellent.
I've always loved any kind of story that finds a way to turn music or even just bass drops into a weapon. Like that's amazing. Yeah. But this was so much. Yep. And so much of it was just, crazy, fourth wall breaking stuff. We have the Light Cavalry Overture, the William Tell Overture.
Oh, yeah.
We have the freaking, sound note, the notes.
Gates of Notalon, just
getting shot out of there. And then we have, what was it, Mako, when she grabbed the text of,
Yeah, she grabbed, it was like she was holding up the text, I believe, of the ability that... either Ryuko was using or
one of the contestants was using.
Yeah. But oh man, that was so good. And okay, Ira and Mako sitting on the bleacher.
Yes.
That was one of the most amazing things ever. I love this so much because they're both the hype person for the two main characters of this story, right? So it's only natural that they would interact at some point. And what's hilarious about it is that they're so similar and so
physically different,
physically opposite, and also just as the way that they go about doing it, because Mako's all about bubbly, go, and then Ira's like, Lady Satsuki is the best, and all the rest of you bow down before her greatness, or you will be whipped.
And you will like it.
Yeah. Oh man, that was just so incredible, and I love that. I love that they didn't make him smaller. Now that he has been stripped of the will to fight, he was still just hulking and massive, and Mako could curl up and be smaller than one of his upper arms or elbows. Yeah. But then the part where they both end up fighting over go, yes, beat him.
And then they end up kind of competing with each other, and Mako's using her mirror to encourage herself.
Yeah,
to
compete. That was just awesome.
It's so ridiculous.
You got this, Mako. Go. Yeah, you're amazing. Woo!
When this show really just wants to turn up the hype energy, crank it up, it just does it so well, but it does it slightly differently every time.
Right.
So it doesn't feel repetitive. I think that there's a couple shows out there that have really good hypometer manipulation. They'll just but the thing is they tend to end up using it the same way every single time.
Sure.
And this show just keeps adding little variations and changes to it. They're so fun and so ridiculous. So I gotta say, as far as like the just ridiculous enjoyment factor, this has now in a lot of ways surpassed Gurren Lagann for me.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think for me it surpassed Gurren Lagann a while ago.
Yeah, I just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah, because they're different things and they have different aspects to them that are absolutely amazing. Yep. But oh my gosh, like I would say that Mako actually at this point needs to join the club of awesome, where with Kamina and Reagan and Broskandar and Iroh and because
like I think almost in some ways just kind of thinking back, I think I've seen her character in like multiple things now that I think about it, just because her character has such an iconic look, just that kind of thing there. So I think she's already recorded in the annals of being like best girl, like like
right,
best hype girl, best just.
But then at the same time, it's like
all that.
But then at the same time, you have things like what we saw with Satsuki this episode, where in kindergarten she was giving these amazing speeches, and it's like, wait a minute, no, should Mako be in the League of Extraordinary Hype, or should it actually be Satsuki, or should it be both of them?
I think it's both, Jacob. I think that they fulfill different purposes. The Mako role is definitely Speedwagon, but the thing about Satsuki is that she is more or less kind of the Iskandar of this world, basically. She's like, set your sights higher.
Glory lies beyond the horizon.
Right, yes. Be immortalized in your deeds.
Yes.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Right. I don't use sand, I use concrete, but even concrete isn't enough. My own mind is where the true fortress lies.
The thing about Satsuki that's equally inspiring and terrifying is that she has to be still slightly crazy. Like just a little bit.
But all the best people are.
Because the thing is that there's no one really close to her.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, if you look at all these people that she's got fawning over her, she doesn't mingle amongst them, really.
Nope, she stands above them.
Or she sits in, like, a dark room, like, back on a throne or something like that, and they're all like, Lady Satsuki, yes, yes.
Yeah, and I know this was in a way earlier episode, but that part where she had, like, just come out of the shower and she was in her robe and her butler was there talking to her and stuff, and then, what's his name, Mr. Ronin, edgy, too cool for sight.
Yeah.
Was there, that was just, like... Just the whole presentation of everything was just like, yeah, okay, Satsuki's a badass, we get it.
But Satsuki is the kind of person who would probably, you ask her to step on you and she would enjoy it, basically. like that's the part where it's like, yes, Satsuki is best girl, but Satsuki is not. She's a dangerous best girl.
It's the idea that because she's so determined and driven, it's very, very compelling, but the idea is she would steamroll over anything and anyone that got in her way because you were just not worthy to stand against me as an equal, and now you can enjoy being my servant or whatever.
So are you ready to talk about that plot kind of hint there?
Nudist Beach.
Yes, so Nudist Beach. They have... some kind of plan that they're wanting to enact here. Now, the thing is that with the way things are going, Ryuko and potentially what Satsuki are doing here is screwing up their plan. Now, here's the thing. They said that it is evolving too quickly.
Right.
Now, they're obviously referring to Senketsu.
Yep.
Now, the question is, they're fine with Ryuko, because remember, Sumugu Kiyanagase, that guy, he encountered Ryuko before.
Yeah.
And in some ways, the homeroom teacher guy kind of was like, whoa, come back. No, you don't need to...
You don't need to worry.
You don't need to worry. Things are going to be fine. But then it's like, wait a minute. Now, this is happening. And this would have happened eventually. But they're saying too quickly. So what is the plan that makes it so that they need to move things slower, and Satsuki maybe wants things to move faster?
I think they've kind of already told us.
Okay,
I think it's that basically that when it comes right down to it, this is about control.
Okay.
On both sides.
Right.
The themes of control are out the roof, right?
Yeah, totally.
Now, what we have seen is that there were attempts at creating god robes.
Yep.
With the whole 50% thing, and it didn't work.
Yep.
They lost control, right? With Satsuki, when she put on Junketsu,
yep.
It was all about, would she be able to maintain control?
Right.
Would she be able to assert her will over this god robe? And of course, because she's Satsuki, she does, right?
But it was extremely painful.
But it was extremely painful.
It was something where she nearly did lose control.
Right. She had to actually work at it like we've never seen her before in all of these backstories.
Right. We've never seen her really struggle before except for that.
Yep.
So what you're suggesting, insinuating, is that Senketsu would take control of Ryuko because it would get too strong?
Possibly. And also the idea that Nudist Beach is wanting to control Ryuko in a way as a weapon against Satsuki and the Kiryuin family, right?
Okay, that makes sense. That lines up pretty well. And then if essentially Ryuko lost control of the god robe, they wouldn't be able to control her and use her as a weapon. She would just be a wild, or chaotic machine.
Yeah, and there's tons of ways that they could do it, because they could have it be that Ryuko loses control of Senketsu, but because Senketsu, they've had a relationship, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Junketsu where we don't ever see Junketsu talking. Like, that could totally be happening, but we don't see it. In Senketsu, there hasn't been this idea of Senketsu trying to take over, right? Like, that's never been on the board.
But it is in some ways taking from her the blood.
Yes, it absolutely is. And so they could go that angle, that route. Another route that I think they might be able to go is that Ryuko's motivations are different than Nudist Beach.
Sure.
So it could be that they want to make sure that she doesn't win too easily. Okay. That way they can keep her doing the things that they want her to do while she's, their interests stay aligned. Yeah, exactly.
So if she's so strong that they can't control her,
then she wouldn't need them. She wouldn't need to listen to them and all that stuff and take their guidance for things.
What if it's a combination of both? Because I like that
the
Ryuko being so strong that it's kind of, she goes so Gurren Lagann, her drill pierces the heavens so far that it's like, well, we lost our chance. She's literally in the heavens right now,
She's a strong, independent young woman who don't need no homeroom teacher.
Don't need no Nudist Beach revolutionary group or whatever.
Yeah. And then, of course, that can go in very well with Satsuki, with the whole idea of, grooming Ryuko /Senketsu, for whatever her end goals are. But they also, this is another thing, they talked about the leading apparel company that What's-His-Face was hacking.
Yes.
Right? That was owned by the Kiryuin conglomerate. Right? Which is
70% market share of the apparel market.
Right.
70% of everything. World trade of apparel.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a monopoly right there.
And what I could see it being is that Satsuki could potentially care about Ryuko as a wielder of Senketsu, but there's also the possibility that she doesn't, and that she's just wanting to use Ryuko as a means to groom Senketsu for her family's company or whatever.
I still get the vibe that Satsuki is not in with the family. Just because she broke she broke Junketsu out before it was time.
Yeah.
I also get the vibe that based on the conversation they had with the mother briefly, that little scene that we had with her, that's more of a future potential antagonist thing.
Right.
And it's that Ryuko as a character is one that has such simple motivations that it's easy to kind of guide her in specific directions right now.
Yeah.
What I really liked about what you said was that Nudist Beach wouldn't be able to control her right now. And Nudist Beach, I think, is getting exactly what they want out of these fights.
Yeah.
All the Devas are being knocked out.
Yep.
And she gets to fight Satsuki and beats her. Woohoo! We could maybe make some moves that we weren't able to do before.
Right.
Maybe it's not about specifically just defeating them. It's about they can then raid their supply or storage of are they called Ultima uniforms? The weaker ones, the 3 stars and all that. And then they can basically arm themselves with these new weapons and
the Gurren Lagann similarities are very real.
But the thing is that there's too many groups. That's the thing. Like, Gurren Lagann simplified it by always keeping it into 2 groups at any given time.
Yeah.
Was it Viral?
Yeah, Viral with the Beastmen and all that.
Yeah, he was the closest to a third-party group we ever got. But the thing is, he was always the avatar of... he was always the representative of someone like the
emissary that sort of got sent out ahead. Yeah. And I feel like with this case, it almost reminds me of like Serenity. At the end of Serenity, when you have like the two armies coming towards each other, and then you have the little ship going, in between, and that's basically Ryuko, right? Except in this case, she kind of breaks everything. So So it's more like, the gods that will end up be doing battle, and then the sides, each side is trying to like guide, the ultimate being, the god wielder to do what they want.
Sure. Now, remember how we set up Gamagori and that he, is the classic, Satsuki values strength, and I bring strength and loyalty and all that.
That's right.
And there was also the thought that Satsuki was, potentially culling the lessers to make sure that, that only those that are worthy would make it there. And what if this is just an extension of that with the Devas, and that they're being culled because they might not be worthy? And this is the first time we've seen a fight with Ryuko where it didn't end in the same episode. So this is one where they're maybe hinting at Ryuko's not going to do the obvious thing and beat all 4 of them and go to face Satsuki.
Possibly.
One, because we still haven't hit the halfway point of the actual show. So if they wanted to do some kind of a mid-series finale kind of thing, they could.
And that would make a great one.
That would make a great one, but I don't think it should be a fight between her and Satsuki.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You think it should be a conversation?
I think it should be definitely some kind of conversation, but not necessarily of the battle, with regards to the truth of what's actually going on.
Gotcha.
And why Satsuki wants all this stuff. What is Satsuki's change the world? Like, what is that?
Yeah, and so back onto that whole thing about like the family and stuff, and you were talking about how you think that it's not quite on the level between like Satsuki and the rest of the Kiryu family.
I don't think so.
What I'm seeing here is that it's the young upstart that's the visionary, right? But then the issue is that it might not be perfectly in line with like the current direction that the group is headed, right? In this case, the Kiryu family. So with the whole thing of like her putting on Junketsu and then the mother calling her and being like, whatever what she said about like your wedding dress, I heard you wore it early or something like that. That is really good because it's another angle to basically draw parallels between Ryuko and Satsuki, because row fight the power, right? It's the whole idea that rebelling against the established order because you have your own way that you're going to be going, and you won't lose that.
Yeah, there was also a lot of things that kind of call back also to, I believe, some conversations Ryuko and Satsuki had in like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah,
where she chided and kind of chastised Ryuko for kind of how narrow-minded she was. Not really narrow-minded, but just kind of how, like how kind of simple-minded she was.
Was that when Ryuko was really embarrassed about the skimpiness of Senketsu's form?
I don't remember.
And then she was saying, like, be confident and all that stuff?
It might have been, but what do you think about potentially this whole plan of Satsuki's, and this is something we've kind of batted around back and forth in discussion, is that it's not necessarily a grooming of either or, Ryuko or Senketsu. It's the idea that the perfect representation of these, god robes, is that they fuse, they join. There's this whole idea of there's definitely the connotations there. I know what but I would say think yes, and then like how that ties in with the whole idea of awakening your identity. Like, yes, and then two scissors, the scissors joining, right. and all this being about not just grooming someone for the sake of power, but helping groom someone into their identity.
Sure, yeah.
Because maybe in some ways, this is something that I think is really crazy here. What if actually the father...
Ryuko or Satsuki?
Ishin Matoi.
Oh, okay.
What if he needed to die? Because, now this is a crazy thought, but when you grow up as a child, you're dependent upon your parents, right?
Gotcha.
But then when you become a teenager, you start testing out your independence from your parents. And then when you mature into a fully grown adult, you learn about interdependence. Now, what if, in some ways, I'm going the full, I don't want to spoil another show, but there's another show that involves a parent intentionally dying to pass on good things and stuff.
Yeah.
What if, in this, Ishin Matoi wanted to basically help Ryuko find her way by removing... Because remember how we talked about how Ryuko was like a delinquent and kind of a problem child growing up and stuff?
She was first shown in the show taking a bite out of a lemon.
Yes.
Like, that says all you need to know.
But that little backstory bit we got of her being resentful towards her father for sending her to that that other school or what have you.
Right.
Maybe in realizing his mistake about that whole thing, he realized the only way to kind of put her back on her way was to, essentially leave her life in such a way that caused her to turn towards the thing that he had been prepping. And then there's the question of why was he originally creating Senketsu?
And if it is something where he set up his own death, then there's the question of, is he really dead?
That is another
because
good
it was
question.
An explosion. Yes. She was not in the area at the time.
Yep.
There's
yeah. Now I think that's more of a it doesn't really matter right now, but it could matter in the in the future. But right now, Ryuko is still, in my opinion, in that stage of being the upstart delinquent coming around and kicking everyone's, furniture.
Yeah.
And kind of just wrecking stuff because it feels good.
Bull in a china shop.
Yeah, and I think the adults in the room essentially are kind of like, yeah, this is good. Let her get it out. This is
it's
good.
all part of the process.
All part of the process. And this is all just one gigantic metaphor show for just a girl coming of age.
It's all a metaphor.
No, really, because in the end, Gurren Lagann, when we go back and look on Gurren Lagann's overarching stories and themes,
massive and drills aside, it was a coming of age story.
It was a total coming of age story.
It was an excellent one,
and you needed to come into your own without trying to be like someone else.
Right.
It wasn't a parent kind of thing, but it was.
I'm me, Simone the Digger. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that this is different, but there's some definite similarities there, and I like that maybe what's happening with the evolving too quickly is that Ryuko is not focusing on her way right now. There's going to be some kind of plot elements on the whole what actually Senketsu is.
Yeah.
Kind of diverting her from that whole course of things. So
that just makes me think.
So I don't know what I was saying, but that's my thoughts.
So one joke that I've always wanted to make, or a quote that I've always wanted to say in relation to Kill la Kill, because of the whole "Don't lose your way," is "I have a way." Is that better than a plan? Because that's basically Ryuko's life right now.
That's great. That's a really good reference.
She doesn't really have a plan.
That's fantastic.
She has a way, you know.
Like, I know most people probably still haven't seen, you know, Serenity, but like that's actually really good because
like that's pretty much what it is.
Because that kind of potentially puts a little bit of a hint, I think, as to what's actually important for the people that care about Ryuko and know more than what Ryuko knows. I would say the homeroom teacher probably does care about Ryuko, but it's a question of to you know how much and to what extent. And I also think Satsuki probably cares about Ryuko. It kind of fits with the potential thing of them having some kind of like special connection or something like that. And there's so many ways they could take that, but specifically with that. God, I had such a great thing I was gonna say. Dang it! You say I have a way. Is that better than a plan?
Yeah.
That they all have plans for her, but her thing isn't about aligning with the plan. It's about not losing your way. But the thing is that I like that it's don't lose your way, not go find your way.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep.
I would say one of the most scary things about being a teenager is that you suddenly become more aware about the whole idea of a way, for instance.
And identity. Yeah.
And yet you have no answers. And you have a ton of questions. And the crazy thing is you start to realize that no one else actually has any answers either.
Nope. And that's why I love the opening and the ending, because they show that very well.
So, yeah, the ending, yeah, the ending has all kinds of connotations too. But specifically with not losing your way, meaning that in some ways you've already found your way.
Right.
But the main goal is to hold on to that, whatever that is.
Right. To thine own self be true.
Yes. Oh, Oh, that fits so perfectly.
And that's what it is, and it's the story is all about fan service aside, it's all about Ryuko kind of bearing herself and taking a look at herself and saying, okay, who am I, and am I willing to be myself openly for everyone and not be, you know, and be basically secure and confident in that. And all of the stuff in the ending is showing her outside looking in, and you know, and with a lot more of like the melancholy looks and the insecurities and things like that we don't really see in the show for, you know, probably very specific reasons other than just the fact that her dad's, you know, dead, but also just like she has to put on this brash thing because she has something that she wants and she needs to get it and everything. But
it's surprising how deep potentially the meta narrative for this show runs.
Yep.
Because of how it's being presented.
Right.
And that's crazy because the biggest thing being presented on a surface level for this show is a ridiculous amount of fan service.
Yeah, the biggest two things.
Don't put a number to this. It's all over. Like, there's no number to quantify this. I know what you mean.
One of the things that I noticed on this one that I didn't really realize before is how on the part of Ryuko's of Senketsu, right, specifically where it covers the boobs, there's little like metal points on the suit right there.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how I didn't notice that before, but I was like, okay, yeah, that's right, because you know.
Oh yeah.
They go all the way with this. Yeah.
I mean, I think the point is, yes, they go right up to the very millimeter of going all the way.
They ride that crack as far as they can go.
They hike up that just and whoosh, you know?
I was actually surprised to see that she was in fact wearing underwear this episode. I thought that was out of character because there's a point where like something was happening or other. I think she was flying or something, and it shows that she actually was wearing underwear. Ryuko. And I was like, wait, really? I thought it was just like her underwear got subsumed into Senketsu and it became just a bare butt thing. But, yeah.
I never thought I would hear those words come out of Jacob's mouth. He sounded so happy to see underwear. Like, guys, I feel like we just have to end everything right there. I need to go like process like just hearing the tone of voice and anyways, guys, if you guys want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about stories or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.